Hello friends, I welcome you all to this new series on power plant engineering. Basically, I'll be discussing about the basics of power plant engineering. So in this lecture, I'll just introduce about the uh, different types of power plants, and at the same time I'll tell you that how to find out the doubling time in case of electricity production. So electricity is the only form of energy which is easy to produce, and this is also very easy to transport. And as we use it very often, like anything, so it is easy to use, and with certain modification it is also easy to control. Now the production of electricity in any country is basically uh, representative of the living standard of that particular country. The higher the electricity consumption per capita, the more the living standard of people for that particular country. In power plants, when we say it, so the electricity is produced in bulk. So there are so many types of power plants like thermal and hydro, nuclear, and your uh, this wind. Wind turbines are there. Gas turbine power plants are also there. Geothermal power plants are also there, and so many. Now, if you look this, these all are basically, in these all, Rankine cycle, or not Rankine cycle, I must say. Here in this thermal and nuclear power plant, Rankine cycle can be thought of as the base. What is a Rankine cycle? I'll tell you about this thing later. Okay, whereas in case of gas turbine power plants, the Brayton cycle is the base. Now, when I say is the base, means when the working fluid is moving, so that is basically governed by this Rankine cycle here, and in gas it is Brayton. Hydro, wind, geo, they are basically power plants which works on renewable source of energy, whereas these above ones they works on sources which are perishable, which are not renewable. So far, you all know that when it comes to country like India, close to 60 to 70% of the power production is from thermal power plants only, and remaining from others. Now, this is the reason why I will be focusing on thermal power plants in this particular series. And when it comes to thermal power plants, so you should be knowing little bit about thermodynamics, specifically properties of pure substances, so that you can grasp some of the important concepts related to Rankine cycle and all. Now, when it comes to electricity, there has been an exponential growth in the production of electricity. How? Let us understand. Let's say uh, electricity production E, it increases with some fractional rate I. What does I mean by this? That is dE by dt will be I times E. Okay, then what? So if you integrate it, that is dE by E, if you integrate this, then here it is I dt. Now I is the basically fractional rate by which the electricity production increases every year. Now at some base year T naught, the production was E naught. And I am interested in knowing that after T years, what is the electricity production rate or production. So this will be natural log E by E naught, and this is I T minus T naught. So if you solve this further, this will become E by E naught is equal to e to the power I t minus t naught. Now that is why I said exponential growth. So this exponential behavior is something which will gives rise to a term called as doubling time. That is the time in which the production of electricity doubles. So consider that in some time t1 the production was E1, and then in time t2 the production was E2. So the above relation then can be written as E2 by E1 is e to the power I t2 minus t1. And if this t2 minus t1 is our doubling time td, then in this time the electricity production has doubled than the previous one. Therefore, I can simply say that 2 is e to the power I td, or the doubling time will be nothing but natural log of 2 divided by I. So using this simple expression for various rate of increase in electricity production per year, the doubling time can be evaluated. Now, one thing you should also know that the electricity demand is also related to GDP of a country. So, and it has a linear relationship basically. So that is the reason why the electricity production has to be understood in a great deal. And to understand that how electricity is being produced in a power plant, one should know that how a power plant is set up, why there are so many units in a power plant, who decide those units, and so on. So that all has been done with the help of what we call as load duration curve. Now in the next lecture, I will tell you about the load duration curve as well as about different factors which are related to that particular curve. And then in the next lecture, we will be learning about the unit load distribution. So in this lecture, till this point only, thank you very much for watching it.